This video is on FAQs on Form ITR 6. Form ITR 6 can be used for filing income tax return by all companies other than those which are eligible for filing Form ITR 7. Let us first see some of the statutory forms which may be applicable on ITR 6 and can be filed if applicable. Form 67, which is Statement of Income from a country or specified territory outside India and foreign tax credit. Form 10IB, which is to be filed for exercising the option under subsection 4 of Section 115BA of the Income Tax Act. Form 3CEB, which is a report from an accountant to be furnished under Section 92E relating to international transactions and specified domestic transactions. Form 3CFA, which is form for opting for taxation of income by way of royalty in respect of patent. Form 66, which is audit report under Clause 2 of Section 115VW of the Income Tax Act. Form 10CCB, which is audit report under Section 80I subsection 7, 80IA subsection 7, 80IB or 80IC. Form 10CCF, report under Section 80LA subsection 3 of the Income Tax Act. Form 10DA, which is report under Section 80JJAA of the Income Tax Act. Form 29B, which is report under Section 115JB of the Income Tax Act for computing the book profits of the company. Form 3CA, 3CD, which is audit report under Section 44AB of the Income Tax Act in case where the accounts of the business or profession of a person have been audited under any other law. Form 3CE, which is audit report under subsection 2 of Section 44DA of the Income Tax Act. Form 3CEA, which is report of an accountant to be furnished by an assessee under subsection 3 of Section 50B of the Income Tax Act relating to computation of capital gains in case of slump sale. Form 10ID, which is to be filed for exercising the option under subsection 7 of Section 115BAB. Form 10IC, which is to be filed for applying for exercising an option under subsection 5 of Section 115BAA. Form 10IG, which is Statement of Exempt Income under Clause 4D of Section 10 of the Income Tax Act. Form 10IK, which is Annual Statement of Exempt Income under Subrule 2 of Rule 21AJA and taxable income under Subrule 2 of Rule 21AJAA. Form 10IJ, which is certificate to be issued by the accountant under Clause 23FF of Section 10 of the Income Tax Act. Form 56F, report under Section 10AA of the Income Tax Act. Before going to the FAQs, let us first see the prerequisites for filing Form ITR 6. In order to file Form ITR 6, you must be a registered user on the e-filing portal with an active PAN. You are required to update login profile and add key person details in login profile before filing the income tax return, and must also update digital signature certificate in login profile before filing the ITR. It is also advisable to pre-validate a bank account and nominate it for refund, to have a valid mobile number linked with e-filing portal, Aadhaar, your bank or your depository, and you must have filed applicable statutory form before filing the income tax return. Let us now see the first FAQ on filing ITR 6. The question is it mandatory to file Form 10IB, 10IC or 10ID within due date to claim the benefit of new tax regime under Section 115BA, 115BAA or 115BAB respectively? Taxpayers are required to note that they should file the Form 10IB, 10IC or 10ID within due date as per Section 139 subsection 1 to claim the benefit of new tax regime under Section 115BA, 115BAA or 115BAB respectively. Another question related to Form 10IB is that if the taxpayer has filed Form 10IB each year from the year of opting the same first time, then which acknowledgement number and date to be mentioned in the return of income? Please note that filing of the forms multiple times for the same section of taxation is not expected if filed in time. However, where such filing has been done for any reasons, taxpayers are required to provide details of latest Form 10IB file, same whole goods for Form 10IC and Form 10ID also. Please ensure that the form is filed within due date under Section 139 subsection 1. If the taxpayer has filed the form beyond the due date, the new tax regime shall not be applicable for that year. Thus, a new form may be filed afresh next year within the due date. Please note that once you have opted for the new tax regime, you cannot go out of the same. However, you can move from 115BA to 115BAA or 115BAB or 115BAB to 115BAA if other conditions are satisfied. Another interesting question can be that can taxpayer file the revised return with new tax regime if the original return is already filed without opting for the new tax regime? Please note that if you file Form 10IB, 10IC or 10ID within due date, then revised return can be filed with opting the new tax regime in the return. Another question is that the taxpayer is trying to file return after due date by claiming loss from business and profession which is on account of unabsorbed depreciation. Can the said losses be carried forward to next year? Please note if the return is filed after due date, then business loss cannot be carried forward to next year as per the provisions of the Income Tax Act. Further, if the loss from business and profession is on account of unabsorbed depreciation, then the same needs to be reduced from Schedule CFL and to be entered in Schedule UD to carry forward the same to next year. In the next year, the brought forward depreciation losses will be adjusted through entries in Schedule UD and Schedule BFLA. Another question can be how to disclose the amount debited to profit and loss account and disallowable under Section 37 reported in the audit report in the income tax return. In the audit report, auditor is required to report the amount disallowable under Section 37 at Clause 21A and 21G of Form 3CD. Taxpayer is required to report at least the same amount disallowable under Section 37 in serial number 7K of Part A OI of ITR, which is reported at the Clause 21A and 21G of Form 3CD. In case the amount reported in income tax return in serial number 7K of Part A OI of ITR is less than the amount disallowable under Section 37 at Clause 21A and 21G of Form 3CD, then the difference will be added to the total income of the taxpayer. Similarly, the taxpayer is also required to report at least the same amount in the income tax return as reported in audit report for other similar sections which are comparable. Example 36.1.2, 36.1.3, 36.1.5a, 37.1, 37.2b, 40a Clause 1, 40a Clause 1a, 40a Clause 1b, 40a Clause 3, 40a Clause 2a, 40a Clause 2b, 40b, 40ba, 40a subsection 7, 43b, 14a, 41.1, 35 subsection 1 Clause 1, Section 35 subsection 1 Clause 2, Section 35 subsection 1 Clause 2a, Section 35 subsection 1 Clause 3, Clause 4, Section 35 subsection 2AA, subsection 2ab, and Section 35 CCC. Another question is how to disclose the effect on profit due to ICDS and the method of valuation of stock specified under Section 145A. In the audit report, auditor is required to report the increase in profit or decrease in profit and net effects separately in columns provided at serial number 13E and 14B. In the return of income at Schedule ICDS, the net impact on profit due to ICDS adjustments shall be shown separately against each line item. In addition, at Schedule OI, serial number 3A, the sum of all the positive items of 13E and 14B shall be shown, and at serial number 3B, the sum of all negative items of 13E and 14B shall be shown. The net difference of 3A minus 3B is not expected to be less than the difference of all the positive and negative items of 13E and 14B. Another interesting question could be that what precautions should be taken to claim TDS or TCS deducted or collected in the hands of others. To claim TDS or TCS deducted or collected in the hands of other person, kindly ensure that the same details of TDS, TCS deducted or collected are also mentioned in other person's return of income and same has been given away by the other person in its ITR. Further ensure that the ITR of the other person is filed before filing the income tax return. A question related to minimum alternate tax could be that if MAT provisions are applicable, which schedules are required to be filed? If MAT provisions are applicable to the company, please ensure to file Schedule MAT and Schedule MAT-C in the income tax return. Another issue that could be asked would be that taxpayer is not able to file ITR 6 and getting the error that dear taxpayer, ITR 6 is not applicable as per the status of the PAN. Kindly verify the same and file applicable ITR. Please note that ITR 6 can be filed by the taxpayers whose status as per PAN database is company. Thus, if the taxpayer status requires to use other ITRs, using ITR 6 by such an assessee may render the return invalid. Therefore, from assessment year 23-24, e-filing has taken extra measures to stop such statuses from using wrong form ITR 6 in this particular case in order to help taxpayers with this avoidable mistake. However, if the status in the PAN database is not correct, thereby using ITR 6 would be required, such taxpayers may reach out to e-filing in advance and report the requirement under e-Nivaran with necessary supporting documents so that e-filing may provide appropriate enablement. Further, there is a list of FAQs related to prima facie adjustments and defective returns while filing ITR 6. In order to check the FAQs, you may visit the path, go to Income Tax Portal homepage, go to Help section, click Learn with Us, go to E-Filing Services, filing your return, and then click Prima facie adjustment and defective notice. Filing of ITR 6 is very easy. To know more, you may visit our website www.incometax.gov.in or contact our helpline numbers.